أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله اللهم صل وسلم على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين القاسم المصطفى محمد
صل على محمد
وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين ورحمة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. قال الله الحكيم في كتابه الكريم إن عدة الشهور عند الله 12 شهرا في كتاب الله يوم خلق السماوات والأرض منها أربعة حرم ذلك الدين القيم. عباد الله أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله إن التقوى هو خير الزاد. Dear brothers, sisters, dear worshipper of Allah, عباد الله, I advise first of all me myself, and then all of you to observe your duty regarding the thing which Allah asks us to do and asks us to be pious. The more piety which we have or we are going to gain or reach to that level, we will be the one to receive the prize or the reward which Allah provided for the muttaqin. The more taqwa you have, the more prize and the more reward is waiting. And of course, as you may know, Quran is one of the main guidance or main guide for the human being. But according to the Quran, this Quran cannot be useful for anybody unless he is pious, he is muttaqi. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. The first ayah, second ayah of Surah Baqarah, it says, this is the book which Allah has sent to you. This book actually is granted to us, not only sent. We are not deserved to be received such a great book, but Allah's mercy, He just gave us this chance to be able to receive such a noble book. Then this book is good for those who have taqwa. So the key of the usage of this book is taqwa. Hopefully, first of all, I advise me myself to be able to receive or to achieve a minimum level of this taqwa at least. Of course, the more taqwa we have, the more reward is waiting. The more reward of God's, it's just like an example or just like a key for us to be able to receive the bless of Allah or to be a good friend or close friend of Allah. Of course, when you give something to somebody, it means if he is not deserved, but because you love him, you give him, it means he is your close friend or he is a close member of your family or your community whatsoever. So, the more reward we will receive from Allah, of course, we are not deserved. If anything Allah has given to us, is going to give it to us, it's just like a bless from Him. So it's somehow just as a form of closeness or nearest, to be nearest to Allah. As this ayah which I recited for you, even last week we talked a little bit about this ayah 36 of Surah Tawbah, which the ayah says, إِنَّ عِدَّةَ الشُّهُورِ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ 12. The months, the number of the months with Allah is 12. Of course, we are not going to discuss about imama and khilaf or some other thing. But even in this case, some of the ulama, scholars, they thought, when they say Ithna Ashar, the shuhur here doesn't mean the real months. Like when we say, for example, in Christianity, we say like January, February, March, May, April, June. Or in Arabic, we say Muharram, Safar, Ramadan, Shawwal. Yes, this can be. But this is the law of the ayah. According to some hadith, which is a real and original hadith, Iddat al-Shuhud means the Imam. In the knowledge or in the view of Allah, in the book of Allah, the number of the Imam is 12. Even if you go and check Christianity, the Imam or the Apostle after Jesus Christ, Hawariyun, again, in that case, you can find 12. So the 12 is, there is a special rule for 12. Anyway, but among these 12, 4 of them are Hurum. Hurum here, say, of these 4 are sacred. It's so important. Among these 4, Rajab, which is one of these 4. Rajab, Zul Qa'dah, Zul Hajjah, and Muharram. These 4 months are so important among the 12. Means Allah has given us chance to practice, to be ready, to be able to go and to be able to participate to the party or to the feast which Allah is providing for us in months of Ramadan. Means everything is just look like a preparation for ourselves. Rajab is the month of preparation. To do what? To go where? To go to Ramadan. What ceremony is in the Ramadan? Ramadan is considered as a feast, the month of feast or the party. God's party is the Ramadan. Ziyafatullah. According to the riwayah, the month of Ramadan is called the month of Ziyafa of Allah. Ziyafa means a person who is guest is called a Dayf. So, if you are going to be a Dayf for Allah, means a guest of Allah, means Ramadan is the month. So, before Rajab, before you prepare yourself in Rajab and Sha'ban, you are not deserved to be in a party. Of course, maybe some of us, without even our knowing, we can go to this party, but we are not allowed to go to some certain place of that party. Imagine, just as an example, if you are invited to go to a party which has been established or prepared for a noble person or a great or important person, this party maybe has got different parts, different sections. Some certain guests are allowed to go to some certain level. Another group, maybe they are allowed to go to some other place, the other level. But there will be some certain and important guests who are allowed to reach to the highest level of this party. In Ramadan, the party is there. The feast is there. Everybody are invited. There is no special invitation. According to the Quran, say, Ya ayyuhal ladina amanu. Oh, who believe. Kutiba alaykum as-siyam. Siyam is, fasting is wajib for you. This ayah is considered as an invitation letter for everybody. This invitation letter, it's not only for me or for you, for black or for white, Chinese, Filipino, Iranian, and European American, everybody. But the invitation is general and public. But to be able to receive to some certain level of this place, this guest or this party, it's not easy for everybody to be able to receive that place. It needs some certain capacity, or certain potential, or certain ability. That's why we are asked to use the month of Rajab for this preparation. Of course, according to the riwayah and according to even the Quran and hadith of the Prophet, there are some certain or some recommended action in these months. I just want to repeat this again if I said to you before. Fasting is one of the most important action in these months. Just make us able to fast completely and in a high level of fasting in the month of Ramadan. Some of us, we may think fasting only, the meaning of fasting is just not to eat, not to drink. This is the lowest level of fasting. Of course, if you don't eat, if you don't drink, of course, according to the Shar, according to the fiqh, you are fasting. But you will not be able to achieve or to gain the reward which is prepared for a person who fasts. Fast, inshallah, in the month of Ramadan, if we got tawfiq and chance, we'll discuss about the fasting and the condition of the fasting. There are some certain level of the fasting. Some people only, they are able to achieve the first level. Some of them, they will be able to receive to the highest level. The fasting of Ramadan, it's going to be like a preparation for us to make ourselves able to receive or to achieve the highest level. Another thing, according to the riwayah, is mudawama ala dhikri la ilaha illallah. Mudawama means like continuous on the dhikr of la ilaha illallah. This month, it's highly recommended for us, to us to recite or to repeat the dhikr of la ilaha illallah. It's very important dhikr. Just remind us every day, every time that there is no God but Allah. What does it mean there is no God but Allah? We know, everybody will know there is no God but Allah. That's why we call Muslim. In this case, it just tries to remind us, yes, you know there is no God but Allah. But when it comes to your action shows something else. My action shows something else. If I don't believe in any other God but Allah, why my action is not according to the word of Allah? Why I can do everything, I will do everything, I will commit any kind of sin, but still I say, no, there is no God but Allah. What kind of Allah is this? Probably your Allah is not the same Allah which introduced by the Prophet. That's why, if you remember, if you repeat this dhikr every day, every time, just will affect on your action. Of course, there is the performance of Umrah is highly recommended in this month. Umrah in Mecca, inshallah. Another thing which is highly recommended, the ziyarah, pilgrimage of Prophet Imam Hussein and Imam Ali alayhi salam. In this case, I just should remind you that the pilgrimage or ziyarah, probably you say, oh, it's not possible for me to go to Mecca or to Medina. We have two types of ziyarah. Ziyarah min qareeb, ziyarah min ba'id. Means you can recite, you can go ziyarah from far, or you can recite ziyarah min qareeb, means just near to that place. If you are able to go to like Karbala, like Medina, like Najaf, you can recite the pilgrimage, you can recite the ziyarah for this holy shrine. But if you are not able, there is another chance for us. You can recite the word of the ziyarah, the sentence or the thing which is prepared for us, even from far. It means this chance is there forever for all of us. The last thing which I want to remind you is i'tikaf. As I said to you before, i'tikaf, it's one of the important chances. Unfortunately, we don't have such a place here or there. Maybe it's not possible for us to do it, but for whoever, if it's possible to go to like a masjid and to be there for 3 days, 13, 14 and 15th of Rajab, which is called Ayyamul-Bid, the white days. The white days, there is a secret for this name as well, Ayyamul-Bid. This is the best chance for a person who can purify himself, because the month of Rajab is considered as a practicing for purifying. Hopefully, inshallah, Allah give us a chance to be able to reach or to achieve some parts of the thing which is prepared for us in the month of Rajab. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. اللهم صل وسلم على الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيبنا إلى العالمين أبا القاسم المصطفى محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد
وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. اللهم صل وسلم على سيد الوصيين أمير المؤمنين عليه السلام. اللهم صل وسلم على الصديقة الطاهرة فاطمة الزهراء صلوات الله وسلامه عليها. اللهم صل وسلم على الصدق النبي الرحمة سيدي شباب أهل الجنة الحسن والحسين عليهم السلام. اللهم صل وسلم على علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي العسكري. اللهم صل وسلم على الحجة القائم المنتظر المحدوث وكل وسلام على الجزء على عباده ومنار صلاة كثيرة دائمة. اللهم صل وسلم على جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين والشهداء والصالحين. عباد الله, أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله. Dear brothers and sisters, once again I advise me myself and all of you to see what is your responsibility regarding the wajib and regarding the muharram, what is obligated for us and what is haram for us. Of course, when it comes to taqwa, we have to be careful about even the thing which is not haram, like makruh. Even the thing which is not wajib, like mustahab. We are asked to be careful about the mustahab, not to just forget about mustahab, and we are asked to be careful about the even makruh. Forget about haram. Haram is to be away from haram. It's not that much important for us, especially for us. We consider ourselves as a follower of Imam Ali alayhi salam or a good friend of the Prophet. So we have to forget about the haram. We have to be careful even for the makruh. So we have to be more careful. In this second khutbah, I am just going to talk to some certain things regarding our beloved Imam Ali alayhi salam, whose birth anniversary is now. in the 13th of the Rajab. This beloved Imam, of course, you know probably some of you know more, but generally we know something about him. But the thing which we know, compare the thing which we don't know about him, is just like for example, just like a river compared to an ocean. The thing which we know about Imam Ali alayhi salam is just like a river. Regarding the thing which we don't know about him, it's like an ocean. Why? Who said? This is not mine. This is the word of the Prophet himself. When he's going to introduce Imam Ali alayhi salam, he used some certain words which even now we cannot understand. We cannot understand. Probably you've heard lots of hadiths regarding Imam Ali alayhi salam from the Prophet. And probably you understand the meaning, the translation of the words, the translation of the sentence. But this translation of this sentence is not the real meaning of this word. For example, the Prophet, he used to say, أَنَا مَدِينَةُ الْعِلْمِ وَعَلِيٌّ بَابُهُ. Everybody knows this hadith. You've heard many, many times. I am the city of knowledge, and Ali is the gate. This is the translation. But what does it mean? First of all, what does it mean with أَنَا مَدِينَةُ الْعِلْمِ? I am the city of knowledge. The knowledge is a city. What does it mean? The knowledge is city. If the knowledge is city, this city must have only one gate or lots of gates. If Ali is the gate, is he the only gate of the city, or there will be another gates and some other gates as well? If there are some other gates, or if there is another one, why the Prophet didn't introduce it? If he is the only gate, it means we are not able to receive to the knowledge of the Prophet only through Ali. There are many, many things. Today I'm just going to quote to some certain characteristics of Imam Ali alayhi salam. The first thing, which you cannot find any other person other than Ali alayhi salam, his birth and his martyrdom was where, was in the house of God. According to the history, which is narrated by both school of thoughts, ulama, scholars of these two schools of thought, Sunni and Shia, both of them, they say, he was born where? In Kaaba, inside the house of God, which nobody other than Imam Ali has got this chance. Only him. Why? We don't know. There are many, many secret for the work of Allah, for the action of Allah. We don't know what is the secret. Of course, if Allah wants, just open some certain part of the secret. But mostly the secret of Allah is secret. That's why it's called secret. If everybody could understand the reason of this word, it would not call secret. So, the first thing which is so important and significant characteristic for Imam Ali alayhi salam, his birth and his martyrdom was in the house of God. Regarding the birth, on the 13th of Rajab, and 2-3 days before the 13th of Rajab, his mother, Fatima bint Asad, Fatima, daughter of Asad, she was feeling that she's going to give birth of Imam Ali. So she was doing tawaf of Kaaba, and then the time came. She had no choice. Suddenly, according to the narrator, which is, this hadith is called mutawatir. Mutawatir means not only one hadith, means there is no doubt regarding this hadith. It's some part of the Kaaba is opened, And then she entered. After 3 days, she came back with a baby. Then this baby is called Ali. This is the birth. We are not going to open this discussion anymore. The last day of Imam Ali, the last day of his life, he was martyred. He was killed by a person by the name of Ibn Muljam. Abdul Rahman, son of Muljam. Where? In the masjid of Kufa. Of course, everybody knows masjid is a house of Allah, isn't it? Masjid is considered a house of Allah. So his birth was in Kaaba, his death, his martyrdom was in masjid. But unfortunately, when he became shaheed in the masjid, when the news came to the Damascus to Sham at that time, people of Sham who were bombarded by the propagation of Muawiyah, they used to say, oh, what was he doing in the masjid? What was Ali doing in the masjid? When they heard Ali is killed in the masjid of Kufa, they were asking each other, so what, he had not to do anything to the masjid. What was he doing in the masjid? This is the propagation of the enemy. The second thing, which is, again, one of the specific and certain thing only for Ali. That's why this sort of thing make him unique. If he is unique, then it will be easy for us to follow. Isn't it that the Quran said, وَلَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. If you want to have an uswa, a pattern, a symbol, first you can go to Ali. You can go to the Prophet. وَلَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ. Indeed, for you, in a prophet is a pattern. The prophet will be a symbol for you, pattern for you. Then the prophet explained, tell us something which extend this uswa, this pattern to some other people as well. Where you can see this ayah, the surah. This ayah probably is in the Surah Al-Imran, ayah 59. I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, 59 Surah Al-Imran. Is regarding the case of Mubahala. In the case of Mubahala, when Muslim and Christianity, they were, talking to each other, they were arguing, end of the story, they decided to do Mubahala. These two sides, they decided to curse each other. Ask Allah to curse the liar. They put the punishment of Allah to the liar of these two. So, from the Christianity, from the side of Christian, there were some groups. They said, we are inviting our people. But from the side of Prophet Muhammad, according to the Quran, said, فَقُلْ تَعَالُ فَقُلْ تَعَالُ نَدْعُ أَبْنَاءَنَا وَأَبْنَاءَ. He said, come, let us gather together. Let us gather together our sons and your sons. So, means Prophet said to the people, to the Christian, according to the Quran, let's gather our sons and your sons. According to the history, our sons, only there were two, Hassan and Hussein. Then, أبناءنا وأبناءكم أنفسنا وأنفسكم نساءنا ونساءكم. When it comes to nisa'ana, means our women and your women. According to this, only Fatima was among the group who went for the Mubahala. So it means Fatima is only alone is comparable with all. And the last thing, which is our discussion, regarding our discussion, says, أنفسنا وأنفسكم, ourself and yourself. When it comes to the member, these ourselves only were two, Muhammad and Ali. When tomorrow the Christians, they saw this group, they realized, oh, there are only five. Muhammad and Ali by the meaning of أنفسنا وأنفسكم, Fatima by the meaning of نساءنا ونساءكم, Hassan and Hussein by the meaning of أبناءنا. That is one of the ayah which has been used by one of the Sahaba. Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. You know, Sa'd, the son of Abi Waqqas, was one of the great companions of the Prophet, and he was one of the commander of the battle, who started this battle from the side of Arab against the Persian Empire. And he was the commander who brought Islam to some country like Iran and then the other countries. So he was a great person. He was not like a small or ordinary people among the Prophet's companions, Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. When Muawiyah, in his time, after the death of Imam Ali alayhi salam, you know, Muawiyah, he ordered people to curse Imam Ali in the khutbah of every Jum'ah prayer. In every Jum'ah prayer, the khatib, the person who recites khutbah, must curse Ali as a person who is deserved to be cursed. Of course, for 40 years, almost 40 years, this cursing was theirs. But some of the companions of the Prophet, they rejected. They said, no, we are not going to curse. Among these persons were Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. These hadiths which I'm just going to say, you can see this hadith in Sunan Imam Tirmizi. So Imam Tirmizi is one of the most important and significant person in the school of thought of Ahl Sunnah. And even you can find in Sahih Bukhari. In Sahih Bukhari you can find the book of Fada'il al-Sahaba, min Fada'il Ali, and in Imam Tirmizi fi Sunanihi, in volume 5, page 638, you can find this hadith. When Muawiyah asked him, قال أمر معاوية بن أبي سفيان سعدا, he commanded, he ordered, he said, Muawiyah said to Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, فقال ما يمنعك أن تسب أبا تراب? Why you are refusing? We are not cursing Abu Turab. You know Abu Turab is the name of Imam Ali. He said, what's happened to you? What's wrong with you? Why you are not cursing Ali? He said, فقال أما ما ذكرت ثلاثا قالهن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فلن أصب لأن تكون لي واحدة منهن أحب إلي من حمر النعام. He said, there are some certain things which Prophet said regarding Imam Ali. See, this person is, both of them, according to Ahl Sunnah, both of them, Muawiyah and Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, both of them companions of the Prophet. So, both means both they have heard this hadith, according to Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Tirmidhi. Both of them, they have heard this hadith. He said, we have heard this certain thing regarding what the Prophet said regarding Ali. He says, Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas says, if one of these things was issued for me, means regarding me myself, it would be enough for me. I would not ask anything. If only one of these, the thing which has been issued for Imam Ali, or has been said regarding Imam Ali, if one of these would be for me, I would not ask anything. What was that? He said, سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول لعلي وخلفه في بعض مغازيه. When there was a battle, for example, Maghazi is a plural of Qaswa. Qaswa means a battle, war. When the Prophet used to go to some certain war, certain battle, he asked Ali, oh Ali, you be in the Medina, stay in the Medina, be my representative. Of course, Imam Ali said, okay, no problem. But when the people had gone with the Prophet to the battle, some of them, they started to talk. Temptation. Oh, Ali, Prophet doesn't like Ali. That's why he didn't bring him with him. So this voice came to Ali. He came to Prophet. He said, "Oh Rasulullah, anything wrong with me? Why you don't allow me to go with you? And why you left me here with the children and women?" He said, فقال له يا علي خلفه في بعض مغازيه فقال له علي يا رسول الله تخلفني مع النساء والصبيان. You left me here with the nisa, the women and sabyan, the children. You don't like me to go with you to the battle? See what is the answer of the Prophet. If such a case we have, such a thing regarding Ali, that's why we have to be proud to be a lover for such a person. He said, فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أما ترضى أن تكون مني بمنزلة هارون من موسى? Don't you like to be for me like a Harun to Moses? Who was Harun? According to the Quran, if you go and quote to the Quran, you will see when Prophet Musa was going to the Pharaoh, he was worried. He could not, prepare himself. He said, "Oh Allah, I have some problem. I cannot talk properly. I need some help." Allah said, "Okay." Then Prophet Musa asked Allah, "You can make my brother Harun just like my wazir." Wazir here means successor. Ushdud bihi azri means he will be my supporter. Waj'al li wazir, waj'al li Harun akhi wazir. Means he, first of all he said, Harun is my brother, so you are my brother. This is the word of the Prophet. Means Ali is the brother of the Prophet. And then his successor. And lots of other things. Then أَمَا تَرْضَىٰ أَن تَكُونَ مِنِّي بِمَنزِلَةِ هَارُونَ مِن مُوسَىٰ إِلَّا أَنَّهُ لَهُ النُّبُوَّةُ بَعْدِي. And the only difference between me and you is, after the Prophet Musa there was a nubuwwah prophethood, but after me there is no prophethood. Means you are not the only thing which you are not is you are not Nabi. But whatsoever Harun had regarding his brother, you have regarding Musa. So that's why Sadat Abi Waqqas says, if such a person, we have such a person, why I should curse him? I should love him, not I should curse him. The second thing, which is again very important, Imam Ali is the lover and beloved of God. Some of us, maybe we love God, but there is no any guarantee, sureness that God loves us as well. The second part is more important. We may love God, but still the love of God to us is important. The Quran says, فَادْخُلِي فِي عِبَادِي يَا أَيَّتُهَا النَّفْسُ الْمُطْمَئِنَّةُ ارْجِعِي إِلَىٰ رَبِّكِ رَاضِيَةً مَرْضِيَّةً. From both, فَادْخُلِي فِي عِبَادِي وَادْخُلِي الْجَنَّةِ means I'm happy with you and you are happy with me as well. So in this case, according to this hadith, it said, in the case of Khaybar, the battle of Khaybar, Sadat ibn Abi Waqqas is telling to Muawiyah, says, in the battle of Khaybar, we had problem. We could not open the door. The door of this place, which was this castle. This castle was for the Yahud of Khaybar, and for many days they were around. They tried to open it, but the gate was so strong, and they could not open it. They came to the Prophet and said, "Oh Prophet, you are the Prophet of Allah. Just find some solution. It's not easy for us to open this." And the Prophet said, "Okay, tomorrow said, لأعطين الراية رجلا يحب الله ورسوله ويحبه الله ورسوله. He said, no problem. Tomorrow I will give you the solution. What is the solution? He said, tomorrow I give it the right. Right here is the flag of the war. Means I make a person like a commander of you tomorrow. Who is this person? The person who, according to this hadith, رجلا, a man, يحب الله ورسوله. He loves Allah and he loves the Prophet. ويحبه الله ورسوله. This part is important. ويحبه الله ورسوله. And Allah and His Prophet loves him as well. That's why Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, he said, everybody, all of us, we wanted to be this person. We were looking, who is going to be this person? Hopefully, I am the one. This person said, inshallah, I will be the one. So, all of us, we tried to be close to the Prophet this night and to show ourselves how good we are. Of course, at that time, according to the hadith, Imam Ali alayhi salam, he had got a problem with his eyes. So, he could not even to be among the people. He was sitting in his tent. Tomorrow morning, he said, according to this person who is the companion of the Prophet, said, فَقَالَ أُدْعُ لِي عَلِيٍّ. Call for me, Ali, bring Ali. They said to him, he has got problem with his eyes. Some of them, they did not want Ali to be there. They brought some excuse, said, oh, he has got problem with his eyes, so he is not here around. Just wanted to get this chance. The Prophet said, no problem, bring him. When Ali came, the Prophet put his hand on his eyes and said recite some certain dua. So the problem is gone. And then he gave the flag of the battle to Ali. Of course, you know the story of opening this gate, which is called the gate of Khayr. So this is the second. So the only lover and beloved of God. Isn't it? Isn't that important? If we have such a person, as-sabiqun, the first person who became a Muslim, according to, again, history, he is the first man who accepted Islam. As-sabiqun. So what will happen if a person is sabiq? As-sabiqun means, and those foremost in faith will be foremost in the hereafter. Then what will happen? أُولَٰئِكَ الْمُقَرَّبُونَ. These will be those nearest to Allah. فِي جَنَّاتِ النَّعِيمِ, in the gardens of the light. If we have such a person, means there is a guarantee, there is a warranty, there is whatsoever you can say that this person, there is no any mistake for this. It's not, pity just to leave such a person, such a noble person, and follow some other. We don't want to say the other are bad or not good. No, we say when we have 100, when we have 800, it's not correct to look for 99. This is a noble chance for us. That's why we say, oh Ali, if you love Ali and if you love God and God loves you, we are proud to love you because your love is in connection with the love of Allah. If we love Allah, definitely we will be able, hopefully, to get to receive the love of God. If we receive the love of God, then the maghfirah, forgiveness, will be guaranteed for us. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.